Okay, so I was undermining being an Indian, okay, and I didn't know if people would want to learn, with Indian accent. So yeah, stop doubting yourself. Go for it. I think it's amazing. I've got a sense of achievement, a sense of direction after I started working, and yes, and obviously self confidence, all of that comes with it. So yes.
We are live. Okay, excellent. Welcome,
Perfect.
Anika. For everybody
Thank you.
watching, Anika reached out to me by email and she told me that she is a teacher who teaches on Preply. She teaches on multiple platforms. And perhaps most importantly, she is from India. And India has a very unique spot in the English speaking world. So we're going to talk a lot about that today, if that's
It
okay.
does.
Nice.
Amazing.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you for having me, Ryan.
No problem. Would you like to just introduce yourself briefly for people watching?
Yes, sure. Hello, everyone. This is Anikha Fathima. I am doing my bachelor's. My major is journalism and tourism. And I teach on iTalki and Preply, and I love teaching. Yes, I'm very passionate about English. Yeah, I think that's about it. And I'm from Bangalore, India. And yes,
Happy days. That's brilliant. Okay.
I
So
love
let's
your background. Amazing.
thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Excellent. Um, let's talk a little bit about your studies today as well, about the fact that you're studying tourism and journalism. But I'd like to start
Yes.
by talking about your experience as an English teacher. So when did you begin teaching English or other languages if you teach them?
Yeah. No, I teach only English. About 6 months ago, I started in around October. Yes.
Fantastic. Excellent. All right,
Yes.
great. And which platforms do you teach on?
I teach on Preply and iTalki.
Perfect. Okay, excellent. Let's compare them because I made a video comparing them. I taught a little bit on
Yes.
Preply, but not enough to really say I know it the way I know iTalki. So maybe you could just
Mhm.
give us a little bit of comparison between the two.
Sure, I'd love to. Actually, in some ways, I find Preply better, and in most ways, I find iTalki better. For example, in terms of commission rate. I don't know if you know, but it's quite a topic. It's a hot topic that Preply doesn't give us. They take 100% commission for the trial class. Every trial class, and it's quite frustrating at times when you are booked, for like 4 to 5 trial lessons in a week, and it's like working for free for 5 hours. So yes,
Exactly.
and yes, and then the commission rate starts from 35%, and then it gradually comes down after 28 lessons, and then I think 70, and then 100. There are milestones I need to reach. Yes, but with iTalki, it's so good. Like, I think it's 18%, right?
15%, yeah,
Oh my
15 on
God.
iTalki.
Yes,
But
yes,
yeah, Preply, of course, the more you teach, it goes down to 18 at a certain point if you teach for a long time, right?
yes.
Great. Okay, yeah, so there are definitely, pros and cons of teaching on Preply or on iTalki. For me, I
Mhm.
taught a lot of the free lessons as well, like the free trial lessons. I was teaching a lot of beginner level French students because
On
I was
Preply?
not on Preply, that's right. Because I was
Okay.
not myself a C2 completely proficient
Right.
speaker in French. So
Mhm.
I want to know what you think about this. On iTalki, I believe you need to be a C2 level to teach a language. On Preply,
Right.
I don't believe you actually need to be C2 level. Do you think that a teacher has to be C2 level to teach? What do you think?
Good question. I think yes, they have to be, because there are so many different students that come to you. Like, it's not according to a level, right? Like a B1 student can come to you, a C1 level student can come to you, and you have to be ready to listen to their concerns and whatever area they need improvement on. So I think a teacher should be ready for all levels. Yeah, I guess.
Fantastic. Good stuff. Yeah, exactly. The more levels you're ready for, the more students you could actually take and the more successful you'll be, right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
True. True.
that's a fair point.
Hmm.
Awesome. Okay. So you said this is a hot topic on Preply with the you know, zero,
Trial.
like 100% commission rate
Yes.
for the trial
Commission
lessons.
rate.
Yeah,
Yes.
do you think that this would ever change in the future?
Yeah. Okay. So recently, I think yesterday, this update is being, it has come that you have monthly subscription plans on Preply. I don't know if you've heard of this.
No, tell me about it.
Yeah, there are monthly subscription plans, which goes like, okay, a student can choose how many lessons you want to take per week. Okay, and they claim that this is going to be more beneficial for the tutors to earn more, and then the students will commit to learning. But I guess it really is not beneficial for students in a way that they are busy people. Okay, they're not school students, or they're professionals as well. Okay, they take classes as they have time, whenever they have time. I think the flexibility is the thing, that won't be allowed with such an update, I think. Yeah, and it was announced yesterday, and I saw quite a lot of YouTube comments, and none of them were agreeing to the update, and all of them were tutors. They were like, what you need to fix is our commission rate. Okay,
Yes.
that yeah, you need to fix the problems that are already there, instead of updating things that are already working. So I think that's a valid point.
Yes, Anika, nice. Because
Yeah.
I still follow the Facebook groups for
Okay.
Preply, so I get to hear
Okay.
because iTalki and Preply do have some similarities in terms of what actually happens
Many.
in the class, right? So
True.
I actually follow the group, so I kind of stay on top of what's new. But thank you for telling us about this. This is something for anybody watching. If you have any
Yes.
questions about this, I'm going to put Anika's social media and her contact information in the description.
Yes.
So
Sure.
if you want, you could check out her profile and get to know Preply a little bit better if that interests you. Or
Yeah.
iTalki, you teach on iTalki as well. So
Yes.
how would you compare the onboarding
Mhm.
processes between the two when you were starting to teach on Preply versus starting to teach on iTalki? How were they different?
Right. I think, yes, Preply is better in that way because it provides you with a lot of teaching materials, which are great. The library is huge. Okay. I don't know if you've checked it out. Have you checked Preply library?
Oh, Preply Library. Yes, actually,
Yes.
I did it for a project last semester because
Okay.
I'm studying my master's degree in applied
Oh,
linguistics. And one thing
amazing.
I did, I am very interested in how language teachers develop professionally in the virtual world, like online, right? Because it's expensive to get a TESOL or a TESOL or a TEFL. So I'm
True.
interested in how language teachers actually develop like their cognition, how they get information. This could be from, you know, Reddit or Facebook. And that's one of the reasons
Right.
why I'm doing these interviews, right? So I actually
Yes.
went to Preply, and I just want to say this is one way that Preply is much better than iTalki. Even though they take
True.
more commission, I find that the Preply library and the different
Mm.
materials and also the seminars that they do for students to kind of
Yes. Yes.
prepare them, fantastic. Yeah.
Very amazing. Like they have webinars on every possible topic, and they are so recurring. You have, and you get emails. You can, sign up for, any webinar anytime. I think they're great, and they have great stuff. They teach you amazing stuff. From experienced teachers, from very successful teachers on Preply, they give us webinars, and I think that's amazing.
That's
Yes.
great. What was your favorite webinar? Does one stick out in your mind?
Yes, there was one which was about teaching children. Okay,
Yeah.
like Preply doesn't have an age group, if I'm not wrong. Like, yeah, you can also teach I mean, children there. So there were a lot of fun games that they were teaching, and there was also a webinar which taught a lot of amazing conversation practice games. Yes, and that was my favorite, and I used it till date. And I also use a lot of your conversation practice games, and I think they're my favorite. They're so helpful. All your materials are very helpful to me.
Good. Well, I'm happy, Anika, and I'm going to be sending you more as a thank you for the
Thank you
interview
so
today.
much.
So don't worry about that. But
Wow.
I'm happy to hear, and I might need your help as well, and other people like you, because I don't teach kids, but I know a lot of my
Right.
subscribers do, and I really
Hmm.
want to help as many people as possible. So I'll probably be picking your brain for ideas of how I could create materials that could be useful for people who teach kids, you know.
For sure. Yeah.
Awesome. We'll touch base about that after. But yeah,
That's-
so
yes.
teaching kids versus teaching adults. First of
Hmm.
all, which age group do you teach and which one do you prefer?
Okay. I'm not very experienced in teaching kids, especially on iTalki and Puppy. I have attended webinars, but I've not taught kids a lot. Like there was one which was not a very regular class. So I've taught all people, uh, from 21, that is, they're elder to me. Okay. All the students have been elder. Okay. So yeah, I'm 21 and I've only taught people, you know, above my age. Yes. So my
Oh,
age group would be 54. Okay. 23 to 54.
okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
This is something I was going to put in my post on YouTube where I've
Mm-hmm.
listed all of the categories. I was going to put older teachers or younger teachers, because I have experienced as a like now I'm not quite 21. I'm a bit older than that, but I when I was 23, I was teaching at a university in Ireland, and I remember on the first day of
Wow.
class, it was an IELTS preparation class. They thought I was the
Okay.
teacher's assistant. They didn't think I was the real teacher.
Oh
Um,
my God.
so I wonder, do you ever feel that you are undermined, or do you ever feel that you are kind of like looked over due to be it your
Your
age or
age,
any other
my age.
demographic?
Hmm. I don't think this is true. But maybe while they okay, wait. Your profile doesn't tell that your profile doesn't tell the other students what age you are, right? If I'm not
Right.
wrong.
That's true.
Yes, okay. So I don't think that's a matter of, of concern for me. I
That's
think
good.
all my students are really nice and they don't undermine. I mean, they appreciate the fact that I'm so young and they think I'm so smart. So yeah.
That's good. Good. That's great. That's fantastic. And I haven't I've never run into that problem either. Like maybe one of my students held that idea that I'm younger and I don't know what I'm doing, but none of them have shown that to me. And I've taught 400, 500 students. So I think that's a good thing to
Wow.
know, because some teachers
Hmm.
do experience this, and some of them
Hmm.
might feel worried about going onto iTalki and saying, oh, I might be too young or I might be too old. So I think it's
Yeah.
good for people to hear it from us, from the horse's mouth,
Yes.
what the reality is, you know.
Yes.
Wow, Anika, this is great. So many questions. So native speakerism is going to be a big topic. So we'll put that to the side for a second and we'll talk about it in a
Okay.
moment. Journalism. This is something I just learned about you, that you are studying journalism and tourism
Yes.
in your
Mhm.
Bangalore in the
Yes.
university. So do
Right.
you feel that your studies in any way influence or help your pedagogical practice as a teacher?
Hmm. Hmm. If only anything, I think it's helped me do better in my studies. because as a matter of fact, I'm very lazy. Okay, I cram till the last minute to prepare for an exam or whatever. So yeah, I'll give you an instance. Last week were my midterms, and I thought, okay, usually I isolate myself when I have exams or anything. Like, I don't want distractions. But this time, surprisingly, my week was scheduled. I mean, my schedule was booked like crazy last week when I had midterms. And obviously, I can't reschedule them. I can't cancel the lessons. So I was like, okay, let's see what happens. And to my surprise, I did really well in both. Okay, I got better in time management and a lot of things. And with this, I'm learning a lot about myself, that okay, I can manage such situations. So I had crazy schedules, like okay, daytime I had my exams, and then from 3 to 10, for example, I had classes. And one day I had 7 classes, okay, with little to no gap between them. And still I managed to study. I don't think it affects my studies at all. If only it makes me do better.
That's good. Yeah, it could help to develop different soft skills such as
Yes,
procrastination, organization, responsibility,
yes,
accountability, right? For me,
true.
I'll be the first to admit when I was in my bachelor's, I was not a great student, you know, like I volunteered with a lot of different groups on campus. One of them was the South
Okay.
Asian Association. I would help plan events for like Diwali and Holi, and we would do like
Wow.
we did these Bhangra and Bollywood dances and stuff. It was amazing.
So
But
fun. Okay.
exactly, but it was so fun. So I didn't prioritize my studies. And, you know, things are way different this time around. And I think part of
Right.
that is from being a teacher and from the experience of being a teacher as well. So you could harness this to help
Yes,
develop your
yes.
skills.
Yes,
All
definitely.
right, fantastic. Good stuff. Well, cute. I hope everything goes well. Which you're 21, so are you in your final
Yes.
year of your degree?
Uh, yeah, almost. I'm stepping into my final year. Yeah.
Nice. Okay, excellent. Good luck with that. Let's talk about
Thank
native
you.
speakerism. I think this will,
Yes,
like, I have a good few questions for you. You are from
yes.
India. India has a colonial history. India is,
Mm,
there are many languages spoken in India, but
yes.
many people speak English. So,
Hmm.
in a nutshell, could you tell me the relationship that India has with native speakerism and this kind of concept?
Okay. Native speaker. Okay, I got it. So I can speak for me. I was okay. I live in South India, right? So almost everybody here speaks English, and very good, and they're very good at it. Like, even regardless of what position they are in their job, they are very good at English. So in South India, English is spoken a lot, and I've been brought up like that. So yes, yeah, I guess in North India, comparatively, it's not speaken that much. It's not spoken that much because my parents are North Indians. So yeah, I can only say for South India that yes, the relationship is quite good, and which is why I had the confidence of teaching English. I never would have thought before that I can. Yeah,
Okay,
I don't know
great.
if that answers your question.
No, no, it's good. So when I'm talking about native speakerism, I'm kind of talking about you know, how there's this kind of circle of countries, and my country is one of them, you know, Canada, America, England, Ireland, Australia, New Zealand.
True.
And how sometimes India could be incorporated into, like, invited to the party, and sometimes they're not, right? And this happens with immigration as well. I mean, in the ways that we assess um, people who immigrate from India, in terms of how
True.
we assess their English speaking skills and whether they are native English speakers or not. So, in your view, do you think that, like, regionally, people are more or less native English speakers? Like, they grow up
They are.
speaking the language? Yeah.
Yes, they are. They are. In South India, yes, they are.
Very good. Excellent. Okay, great. Do you have any tips for other um, people from India who want to get started on iTalki or Preply?
Yes. I would say stop doubting yourself. And as much as I thought that, okay, I'm an Indian, so not many students would like to learn from me. But to my surprise, what I found out is Indian accent is a major accent now. Okay. And maybe in some parts of the world, it's been added in TEFL. Okay. I don't know if you've heard. Okay. So my South Korean student recently told me this. Okay. It's a major accent now, and it's been added in, from, sorry, with British and American accents, Indian accent is also added because, you have Indians everywhere. Okay. In every company, in every part of the world, there are Indians. And there are so many students. Okay. The students that I have got who wants to learn business English from me, for example, okay, they want to also learn Indian accent because their bosses are Indians, their colleagues are Indians, so they want to get better at that. So, okay, so I was undermining being an Indian, okay, and I didn't know if people would want to learn, within Indian accent. So yeah, stop doubting yourself, go for it. I think it's amazing. I've got a sense of achievement, a sense of direction after I've started working. And yes, and obviously self confidence, all of that comes with it. So yes, should go for it. That's all.
Very, very good. Look at this positivity right here. And if anybody's interested in, learning English, check out Anika's profile. And even if you're somebody who wants to teach on iTalki and you are doubting yourself, go ahead and speak to her. She has a lot to say. I have just a couple more questions, and then we can wrap up.
Sure.
And then
Sure.
you could ask me any questions if you have any. So
Yes.
my last two questions. The first one, types of classes. You just brought up business English. So what kind of classes do you teach on these platforms?
Okay. So I mainly I mainly give conversation practices. Okay. So yes, and a lot of conversation practice and business English. For example, I teach them new expressions, new words to use at workplace. Okay. Yeah, and not very not on an expert level. Okay, when I say business English. Okay, so just new expressions, and I'll correct them. I'll teach them, better ways of saying things. And yes, and then yeah, I give grammar lessons as well, only if they want it. So based on whatever they need, so I tailor made, the materials are tailor made for them, and that takes a little bit of time. It's a little time consuming, but yes, yeah, whatever suits their level, whatever suits their needs. Yes.
That's perfect. And you're so early in your career. Oh my gosh, you're so how long have you been teaching for? How much time?
6 months.
6 months. That is great. Like time's really on your side.
Yeah, and in first 3 to 4 months, it wasn't that great. I didn't have my schedule like booked up, But now, for the past 2 months, I think it's going great. Yeah.
Good. Yeah, I just had the second interview of this series with a man from South Africa, and he said the same thing.
Okay.
He said at first it wasn't successful. He was doubting himself. But he said the
Yes.
same thing, like keep pushing because it could get better. Like you're self-employed at the end of the day, and it could be tricky,
Exactly.
but keep going. Yeah.
It's a push job for me. I'm a homebody. I love staying at home. So I think this is the best job that I could get. Yeah.
Well, teaching online is great then because you have like the whole
So
virtual
amazing.
world. Yeah.
Yes.
Gosh, that's great. What was I going to ask you? Oh yeah, so I just want to say, while we're talking about business English, since it's come up,
Mhm.
for me, I have had some students who kind of want to take conversational English, but they want it to be like, they also want business English at the same time. And you will have some
Right.
students who are kind of like in the middle like that. And it's hard
Yeah.
because you don't want to mislead them and make them think that they're going to be doing negotiation practice and interview
Hmm.
practice. So what I
Hmm.
have done, I give them conversational lessons, but they're on business topics, right? So I don't call
Oh
it
yes,
business English. I've made
true.
this document and I'll send it to you. I'll send it to you actually. And it's like
Okay.
50 topics which are related to business. And then each class we could talk about one of them. So even though it's not like role playing and like hardcore grammar and all that, cover letter editing, it's still, discussing business concepts. So that's just like a tip for you or for anybody else
That's
who's doing
amazing.
this kind of thing. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
No worries. Okay, last thing, your style. I know, first of all, which languages do you speak?
Hindi and English.
Hindi and English. Okay, great. So I'd like to
Yes.
know, is your teaching style at all influenced by your teacher's teaching style, like from when you were growing up? Or is it influenced by other teachers who inspire you, who you found online, for example?
Yes. Okay. I would say not at all from the teachers I've come across offline with. Okay. So it's all you and other YouTubers. Okay. So yeah, I've learned a lot from YouTube, and especially when I came across your channel. And yeah, it felt like I'm already an insider. Okay, so I was going to keep this for some time else, but all the information that you guys provided, all the insights, it made me go for it, and it's amazing. So whatever I've learned is from you guys, yeah, from you especially, and yes, that's all.
Right.
And the style is my own, I guess. Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Own it. That's awesome. My style is my own. I was not
Yes.
expecting that answer, but that's a damn good answer. All right. Anika, is there anything that you expected me to ask you that I didn't ask you today? Is there anything else you would just like to say to people watching?
um, I don't know, but yeah, if anybody's planning to go for it, I think it's amazing. Okay, stop giving it much thought. I think it's easier than you comprehend. Yeah, if you give too much thought into something and then you start doubting yourself, so that's something I was going to do. But I would say please binge watch all of Ryan's videos and you will get the confidence to, yes, just
Okay.
start.
Yeah. Awesome.
That's all I would say. Yes.
Thank you so much, Anika. I really appreciate it. Thank you.